Anthony Hartley here with a Campbell Memorial Volleyball Coaches Corner and a season preview with head coach Tyler Allen. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and giving us a solid preview of your team this year.
Thanks for having me, Anthony. We definitely appreciate the publicity and having us on.
You got it. Let's start with a meet the team kind of segment where we'll let you go through your roster, some of the big names that are going to be in the Camel rotation this year, and maybe a couple of new names that Camel fans should know.
I'm going to start with a couple of the new names. We have a sophomore, Jada Coriano. She filled in nice for us last year when we needed her at the varsity level. She played club all last year. She's definitely devoted her time to volleyball and is working very hard. We also have a pretty good outside hitter that's a freshman, Alicia Rudolfi. She's been putting the time in the off season, really just, honing her craft and working on all of her flaws in her game. As far as returners, we have juniors, Kaya Coleman-Clark. She's been putting in a lot of time at jump stretch, at practice, just really working on some things. We have junior Abby Brose. She'll be one of our back row players. She just does a great job reading the court and reading what the other team's doing, and she just has a knack for being in the right place at the right time. And she's definitely one of our hustle players that's going to pick up a ball if someone shanks a pass, if someone hits a hard hit ball where nobody is. She's definitely going to hit the ground, find that ball. Another junior that we have, Alexa Clark. She's been putting some time in the off season, and we hope that she continues to develop to be a nice piece for us. We're definitely loaded and definitely have a lot of seniors this year. Continuing seniors from last year that really did a good job for us. We have Angelise Diaz. She was one of our outside hitters last year. She's looking to project as a right side hitter for us this year. Her hands, if Carla, our setter, takes the first ball, she just has really good hands, knows where to put the ball. She has a 34-inch vertical, so her block's huge over there on the right side. She can put the ball away. So we're excited to have her moving over and just showing everybody what she has to offer as a right side hitter. Just defensively, she's what we need over there this year. We also have senior setter Carla Ramirez Ortiz. She's closing in on 1,500 assists for her career. She's really put in the time in the off season. She's been at all the jump stretch. She's been at all the open gyms. She played at the American level club last year. She's really working hard, putting the time in the gym. We have senior Kendall Brunn. She's a middle. She's, again, another one of our players, great leader. She's one of the girls that runs open gyms. She's making sure that the younger girls are doing what they need to do. She has a shot at reaching 1,000 kills. She was, kind of the center point of our offense last year, and I think everybody knew that. And it's, no secret that she's going to be, part of our offense this year and a big part of it. But we have an incoming player, Mylena Williams. She transferred in from Struthers last year after the volleyball season, before softball. She's a really solid player, huge addition. She's going to be slotting in as our M2. She just hits the ball really well, such an athletic player. She puts the time in the gym. She's a great player, great person. I'm just very excited to be around her. I had the opportunity of coaching her since she was in 7th grade. So I'm definitely very familiar with her. And it's just nice that she moved back into the district because she's going to be a big piece for us this year. Oops, sorry, my lights went off. Sorry about that. We also have libero, Gabby Villanueva Santos. She was our libero last year. She's really put in a ton of time, really stepped up at the club level this past year. She's doing an excellent job defensively. She's a great leader. She's one of the girls that's in the gym nonstop, 24/7. If I walk into the gym, she's there. So she's a nice piece to have as well. And then we also have senior Syra Cross. She's going to be, our outside hitter 1. She's definitely a very strong player. She's at every open gym. She puts the time in. She's kind of like our Energizer Bunny. Every play she's in, she's hustling. She's everywhere on the court. She's just kind of our heart and soul defensively, one of our best serve receive players, one of our best, defensive passers. So we're excited to see what she's able to do this season as well.
That's a great roster that you have, and a lot of names that we're pretty familiar with from the success that you guys had last year. It was arguably the best season this program's ever had, win wise. What has been some of the conversations this summer leading up to this season about building off that and trying to take the next step now this year into being even more consistent and getting even more wins?
We've definitely tried to do everything we could in the off season to set our players, our girls, our program up for success. We started younger and younger. Our junior high program's doing very well. We actually took our high school team to Puerto Rico this summer. So like the second week of summer, we went to Puerto Rico. Down in Salinas, we went to the Olympic training facility down there. They were able to be coached by Coach Hector, who helps run the facility down there. He coaches a lot of club teams down there. A lot of the Puerto Rican players that are trying out on the Olympic team for Puerto Rico. So he was able to work with our players and just kind of take everything to the next level and push our players to see that the potential that they have and how hard that they need to work. And there's always room to work harder. There's always room to improve.
You got a lot of tough teams on your schedule, especially inside the MVAC. We'll talk about your conference first. Talk about what it's like playing in this MVAC grade tier and how you see it kind of shaking out this year.
Oh, well, we've been in the MVAC. This will be our last year on this side of the tier. Next year, we're switching to the other side. But we're definitely excited to have the tough schedule and to have all these tough teams in the conference. Last year, we were able to take fourth in the conference. The teams that finished ahead of us were LeBray, Garfield, and Crestview, obviously. Our goal, that's no secret, is we want to push ourselves. We want to be able to compete with the Crestviews, to compete with the Garfields, to compete with the LeBrays. We're setting our goals high this year. Our definitely the seniors group, this group of girls' goal is to win the conference. We know that's going to be really tough to do. Crestview is always a great team, a lot of great players, great coaching. They just have a great work ethic over there, and we kind of try to do our best to kind of emulate what they're doing over there and to try to push our girls to get them to the next level, not just skill-wise, but mentally. I think that's our biggest obstacle to get to the next level is believing in ourselves and pushing ourselves to do things that we don't think we can do.
In the non-conference, that scheduling is just as important. It's a bunch of teams that are going to get you ready for tournament time. Who are some teams that you're really excited to square up against outside of that MVAC?
Well, we dropped a lot of schools that we played last year just because we knew the level of our team this year, and we wanted to get a much tougher schedule for us this year. We added Struthers from the NE8. We added Hubbard from the NE8. We added Salem to our schedule. We're playing Niles this year, and then we're also playing Poland as well. So we were able to add a lot of bigger schools to our schedule. We just want to be able to push our girls and to get them playing at the highest level that there is. Scrimmage-wise, too, we have a scrimmage next week. We're at Fitch. We're playing against them, Glen Oak, Lakeview, East Liverpool. So we're definitely excited to see what we can do against those schools and to see where we're at compared to them and what we do need to do to get to the next level to compete with the schools like Crestview, to hopefully have a shot at winning our conference.
Your team has been mentioned by several coaches that we've interviewed so far because you hosted an event this summer and brought a lot of teams into Campbell to test themselves and to play some quality volleyball. What was that like to host that and see so many teams come in and take advantage of your hospitality?
It's definitely great. It's a big fundraiser for us, so we're able to give back to the girls and get them things that they need in order to improve, such as taking the trip to Puerto Rico. We had a camp. We had Allegheny's head coach, Kelly Barzak, come in and run a camp for us. In the past, we've done camps through All-American Volleyball. They've done camps with us, so that's a huge fundraiser for us. And it's great because, it's right in our backyard. All of our girls are able to attend that, and we're able to see, top competition around the area. Fitch attended that. South Range was there. Mooney, Ursuline, Hubbard, Columbiana, Neshannock from in Pennsylvania. So we're able to see a lot of different teams, a lot of different looks, and just to kind of see where we're at and where we need to work.
You talked about your roster, and you have a good mix of some young players, and I know you have a strong JV program as well, mixed with those really experienced leaders. This is one of those seasons that I'm sure you as a head coach are looking at to say, these leaders that are going to be graduating next year, or graduating this year, I should say, the footprint that they're going to leave for these young players. What have you seen from the development of these young players already just playing against these varsity kids that have been so experienced, and how much does that make you excited for the future of Campbell volleyball to be able to sustain success?
What's really nice is this year it's our second year in a row that we're going to have a freshman team. So we've really been able to bulk up our freshman schedule this year. Last year we didn't have a whole lot of games just because it was kind of a late decision, but this year we were able to kind of stay ahead of the curve and schedule a lot of games for those freshmen. We have almost 30 girls in the program this year from 9th through 12th grade. And then the JV players, we only graduated one girl last year, so all the JV players continue to get better. I'm able to, practice split up varsity and JV and have them play against each other. I'm able to put them together, put them, on separate teams, and they're able to compete. They're able to push the varsity players to get to that next level. And, our varsity players just do such a great job with their leadership. As far as making sure that girls are at open gyms, I don't have to worry about that because the girls feed off each other. They want to be in the gym. They want to put, the extra time in. I think every player that's on our high school team, except for maybe 3 or 4, played club this year. So that's huge as well for them to just be putting in the time and loving the sport and just to get to know different aspects of the game and get different coaching aspects from different coaches so they can just learn more and just kind of, increase on their craft. So it's been really nice to be able to have a JV squad that can compete against our varsity squad and vice versa, and to be able to mix them and match. And it's really nice. And the practice room's so good, so much competition. And I think that's going to help us get to the next level as well.
You have just over a week left before the start of the season, which means you have just a little bit of time to tinker and fine-tune things before you start. What is one thing that you really want to improve at or see from your girls in this last week of the preseason before you start the regular season in a week or so?
We're really looking for our girls to buy in a little bit more. And I'm not talking about showing up and just being there. I'm talking about when they're there giving 150%. Our girls doing – sorry again. Sorry, our lights here are on timers.
These lights are quick on the draw, Coach.
Yeah, you don't want me sitting down for too long. What was the question again?
Talking about my word, I forget what the question was. These interviews are we were talking about
what we need to work on.
Yeah,
okay.
What you need to good save, Coach.
We're looking to instill in the girls that we're not just going out on the court to play volleyball when we step out on the court. We're not just stepping out on the court to have fun and go through the motions. We're really focusing on stepping on the court with a purpose. What are we doing? What's our purpose offensively? What's our purpose defensively? And how are we going to accomplish that? What's our goal for the game? What do we need to do to be successful? And not so much focus on the outcome, but focus on what we're doing, focus on what gets us to where we want to be. The score's going to take care of itself if we play at the level and if we can execute the way that we want to execute.
All right, Coach, we're going to end this interview by giving you the chance to shine a light on your coaching staff and all the people behind the scenes that are making this volleyball program as good as it is right now.
And that's one thing where I'm really lucky. We have a great coaching staff here. I get to spend a lot of time with our coaches, and we're all on the same page. And all of our coaches just love to coach and be with the girls. Starting at 7th and 8th grade, we have a new addition in Paige Reed. She was a setter for Hubbard High School. I actually had the opportunity to coach her in club. She just does a great job with the girls. She's all in. She puts the time in. She's at everything. She even comes to high school stuff to help out with the high school players. She comes in early to help girls that maybe want some extra work, whether it's setting, hitting, passing. So she does a great job for us. Ashlyn Cleveley, she's our 8th grade coach again. She's been here since I came back, and she just does a great job with the team. She does a great job with getting girls out to play. She's high energy coach. She pushes the girls. She's very intense, and that's what we want. And we want the girls to learn that before they get up to the high school. She actually just took over as our head varsity basketball coach for the girls for the upcoming season, and she's going to do a great job with that as well, and continue to build that program as well. And then at the high school level, my wife, Jennifer Allen, she's one of our assistant varsity coaches. We have another assistant, Kim Claus. She does an excellent job. She donates her time to help out. Coach Ryan Lombardo, he's another one of our assistants who donates his time to be here and help with the girls. And he just does a really good job on the mental aspect of the game. And then we also have Nettie McDowell. She was our 8th grade coach last year. She came up this year. She's going to help out with our freshman team. And then we also have my sister-in-law, Jackie Irwin, and then obviously myself. But great coaching staff. I love the group that we have built here. It took us a long time to get there, but they're all invested in our athletes. They're all invested in the kids. And we just want to make sure that they're growing, not just as players, but as individuals. And we want them to be successful once they graduate here. I mean, obviously on the court, but again, when they're done here, when they go to college, trade school, go to get a job, whatever they want to do, we want to make sure that they have those personnel skills. They have the hardworking, the promptness, the respect, and just that they can be great people outside of here.
Coach, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and giving us a solid preview of Campbell's volleyball season. We wish you the best of luck, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon as the season progresses.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Anthony.